Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Two of the more prolific bats in the American League reside right in the middle of the Tigers lineup since 2006. Miggy and Prince have combined for 530 home runs, 1,700 RBIs as well. They'll be in the middle of the Tigers lineup today. It's cloudy and overcast as we welcome you to Comerica Park. The final game of the series featuring the Tampa Bay Rays and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us for the final game of this series. Really a tale of two nights here at the ballpark for the Tigers. Rod, the bats were booming on Tuesday night. Last night, a little bit too much Alex Cobb.
Well, give Joe Madden a lot of credit for that because one thing he did in last night's game, he took the bat out of Miguel Cabrera's hands. Somebody else is going to have to get it done here today if they're going to win because, Joe, he will not pitch to Miguel.
Well, the Tigers shut out for the 6th time in last night's ball game for the season. Today they got Max Scherzer. He has that perfect record going. He'll try and keep that going here this afternoon.
You know, Max throws from that low three-quarter arm slot, but what he does with that arm slot, he's got 95 to 100 miles an hour with his fastball, and his fastball actually rides up in the strike zone. Most people don't believe the fastball can actually go up, but because of the arm slot Max features, his ball does rise. And then when he gets you looking for the fastball up, he goes down with really good changeups, a couple of different ones, one that goes straight down, one that fades away from the left-handers. Also really good curveballs this year by Max. He learned that pitch last year. He's starting to feel more comfortable throwing it, and he has gotten a lot of outs with that breaking ball lately.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios and join Shannon Hogan. But coming up here this afternoon, the series finale Tuesday night, the Tigers banged out 15 hits last night. It was the Rays pitching that was king. Tigers-Rays final game coming up next. Start things off for the Rays. The starting lineup for Tampa Bay brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Sam Fuld, Ben Zobrist, and Matt Joyce in the top 3 spots in the lineup. Longoria will clean up, and James Loney and Desmond Jennings. The bottom 3 today of Luke Scott, Jose Molina, and Yunel Escobar. And they will take their swings versus Max Scherzer, who is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Max this year has been as consistent as any starter the Tigers have ran out there. He has a 7-0 record at .342 earned run average and piling up tons of strikeouts, 91 as we speak, in 71 1/3 innings already logged this year.
And so Scherzer climbs on top of the hill now, facing Sam Fuld, who will start things off. The Rays win last night. The Tigers won Tuesday night. A rubber game of the match here this afternoon. Scherzer is set to go to work, and so are we. First pitch of the ball game today is a ball outside to Sam Fuld. Fuld and then Zobrist and then Joyce. It is a cloudy, overcast afternoon. A little bit of a breeze. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's in for a strike, 1-1.
Fuld did a marvelous job in last night's game in the 9th inning, leading off with a bunt single down toward first base, and needed a headfirst slide to elude the tag of Prince Fielder for a single.
The 1-1 pitch is hammered to right field. Hunter is moving over, 1 gone.
You know, Torrey Hunter's in right field. Let's take a look at the rest of the starting defense for the Tigers this afternoon. Kelly's in center, Dirk's in left to right in the infield, Miggy, Peralta, Infante, and the Prince, and Alex Avila back behind the plate today after a couple base hits in yesterday's game.
Here is Ben Zobrist batting in the 2 spot in the lineup. Zobrist at .246 has had a couple of hits in this series. 33 RBIs this year. And he looks at strike 1. Zobrist leads their team in base on balls. He has walked 27 times this season. Here's the 0-1 from Max, and it's lifted in the air. Shallow right field. Hunter was deep, so he's not going to be able to get there, and it's going to drop in for a bloop single. 3rd hit of the series for Zobrist. He's aboard. It looked like it might hang high enough for Torrey to get there, but it dropped in safely. Here's the former Tiger Matt Joyce with a double and an RBI in the series. Joyce checks in at .261 today. Joyce hit leadoff in the first game. He was lowered to number 3 in the lineup yesterday. He's always had pretty good power. Has been a double-digit home run guy throughout his big league career. And Scherzer starts him off with a strike off speed, 0-1. Joyce in his minor league days with the Tigers hit quite a few home runs. Then he got to the big leagues with Detroit and hit 13 in limited playing time in 2008. Here's the 0-1 from Max, and it's fouled off 0-2. And that one got Avila, so already in this game Avila has taken a foul tip.
It just seems like every single day Alex gets beat up and behind that plate.
Avila again getting the start behind the dish tonight. He caught yesterday's game. Pena caught the first game in the series. And Alex had a big night offensively last night. 0-2 on Matt Joyce. Swing and a miss. He was out in front, struck him out.
Max said that his last start he had a very good changeup, and already today he led Joyce off with a changeup and got strike 2 also with a changeup, and then he finishes him off with that real good fading changeup down and away. Max features a couple different changeups. One acts like a forkball that goes straight down, the other late fading action to the left-handed batters and down and into the right-handers.
So with 2 outs, here is Evan Longoria batting .307. Ball 1 outside to Longoria, who in the series is 3 for 8. One of the big hits in that 3-run ninth inning last night, which turned out to be the difference for the Rays. Longoria had an RBI single and made it 2-0. Scherzer's 1-0. There's a strike.
It's going to be imperative for Longoria to stay healthy this year if the Rays are going to stay in the race in the American League East all year. In the last couple of years, he's been hampered by several different injuries that have not allowed him to get out on the field every day for his club.
Well, last year he played in just 74 games, had a partially torn hamstring, which in turn hamstrung the offense for the Rays. There's a swing and a miss. And the count is 1-2.
Already Max incorporating all of his pitches. We've seen the curveball. We've seen many changeups. And that fastball right there at 93, right by Longoria.
13 doubles in the month of May, which was a club record for the Rays. Longoria getting off to a very nice start this year. 35 RBIs. Here's the 1-2. That slides outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rays get a single by Zobrist here in the first, and Longoria bats with 2 outs. Series finale between these two teams. They will meet one other time in St. Petersburg. Runner going, and a wave and a miss, and Scherzer picks up his second strikeout. That's all for the Rays. Let's head to the bottom of the first. No score. And Andy Dirks getting set to lead things off for Detroit. The Tigers starting lineup presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Dirks, Hunter, Cabrera in the top 3 spots. Prince cleaning up, and Victor. You got Johnny Peralta playing short. Bottom 3 today is Avila, Infante, and Don Kelly is out in center field. And the Tigers facing Roberto Hernandez.
This is the first year that he has spent out of a Cleveland Indians uniform. They know Hernandez from his days in Cleveland. Heavy sink on his fastball, anywhere from 90 to 95 miles an hour, a changeup, and also a breaking ball. 487 earned run average in his first few starts with his new club.
Roberto Hernandez, the former Fausto Carmona, is ready to go to work, and his first pitch is low to Andy Dirks. Hernandez likes to get the ground ball. He hails from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and a bouncing ball right side of the infield. Zobrist has it, and Dirks is out.
Tim Hortons will sponsor the starting defense for the Tampa Bay Rays this afternoon. Fold, Jennings, Joyce in the outfield, Longoria, Escobar, Zobrist, James Loney in the infield, and Jose Molina is behind the plate. And Molina has somewhat become the personal catcher of Roberto Hernandez. Really handles him well, really slows him down, and they have a really good working relationship with one another.
Torrey Hunter now with 1 out. Torrey batting .304. Over the years, he has seen a lot of Hernandez, and really, for the most part, Torrey has struggled against Hernandez. 5 for 35. Trying to get something started here with one out. In the air, center field, straight away to Desmond Jennings. 2 gone.
Everything for Hernandez is arm slot. When he stays on top of the baseball and throws downhill, he's got a tremendous sinker ball, and that's exactly what Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, and Joe Madden want him to do. Stay on top and then allow the ball to work for him because he's got great movement with his heater. There were times when we used to see him when he pitched for the Cleveland Indians where he'd throw 80–85% fastballs.
No doubt. Yeah, and he had a really big season with the Indians. A big winner one season with Cleveland. It was a check swing and he did not go.
That's the way he's always pitched Cabrera too. Heavy sinkers inside, 90–92.
Try to remember, wasn't it, well, back then, Carmona that hit Gary Sheffield? Didn't Sheffield charge him?
From first base.
Yeah. I remember that. Rather amusing incident. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Pulled foul. 1-1.
The one thing that Miggy must not do here today is get caught up in the fact that Hernandez is going to throw those heavy sinkers inside and then try to get to those sinkers, because those pitches that he just threw, you can't get to those.
Well, 3 homers, .333 batting average career against Hernandez. 2 out, nobody on. Tigers bat in the first inning. Cabrera at .366. 17 home runs. Here's the 1-1 offering. Fouled off.
I give Joe Madden a lot of credit for that win his club got last night against the Tigers. And the fact that he decided to walk Miguel Cabrera his last 2 plate appearances. Pretty much the difference in the game. And Miggy's numbers 7th inning or later are some of the best in baseball, and Madden was not going to get beat by Miguel Cabrera in last night's game.
Madden has been in professional baseball for 39 seasons. There's a soft serve to right field and a base hit.
He is so good. He is so good. It just kind of takes what you give him. You start him off inside, then you try to go back outside with a little changeup, and the concentration level is outstanding. That ball about 4 inches off the ground and laced the other way by Miguel Cabrera.
Such a great understanding of the strike zone as well, because as Fox Tracks showed there, that would have been on the edge of the strike zone. Here is Prince Fielder, and he looks at a strike. They got Prince a couple of times in key spots in last night's ball game. Prince late in the game, a couple of times batted with 2 men on in a scoreless game, and they were able to get him twice via the strikeout. Here's the 0-1. You talked about Joe Madden and how unconventional he can be. He brought in a right-hander to face Prince Fielder in the 8th inning last night, Joel Peralta, instead of the lefty.
That he did. Peralta's number is much better against left-handers than right-handers, and Prince also has really good numbers against left-handed pitching. So Joe Madden kind of going with the numbers there last night.
2 balls, 1 strike.
And here's the numbers on Prince, hitting .242 this year against righties and hitting .373 against left-handed pitchers.
Do you think the good managers have that ability to use these statistical numbers they are given, yet also know when to use their gut as well?
Absolutely. I mean, it depends on how well Prince is swinging the bat, too.
Here's the 2-1.
But I think we're starting to get to the point now that most managers are going to start treating Miguel Cabrera the way that Madden treated him last night. If the game is on the line, how can you sleep at night if you let this guy beat you? You can sleep if you let the other guys beat you, but you can't sleep if you let this guy beat you on any given day.
3-1 on Fielder. And he lost him. Ball 4. That is his league high 36th walk of the year. And before you know it, the Tigers have a threat going now with 2 outs.
These 2 right here used to be battery mates, Victor Martinez and Roberto Hernandez, when Victor was catching. Hernandez in Cleveland.
Victor caught him in 2007 when Hernandez won 19 games and finished 4th in the Cy Young voting for Cleveland. Really, the only season that Hernandez has been able to hang his hat on, that was his best year, and Victor has hit him pretty well. 417. Ball 1. And now all of a sudden we go from 2 outs, nobody on to 2 men on and a 1-0 count on Martinez.
We've been told also that Molina, he will go out and have more conversations with Hernandez than he does any of the other starters. As I told you, that he has called him every start except one. So they have a really good relationship. And even though Hernandez is the veteran on the pitching staff, he still needs to be guided by the veteran catcher Molina. What's the over and under on Carmona's today? Because I'm struggling not to say it.
I'm trying to suppress it, but it's difficult to do. He was known as Fausto Carmona for so many years. Here's the 1-0. There's a strike. 1-1. By the way, Hernandez now is 1 for 5 in first pitch strikes. 226 average for Victor Martinez. Each team with a hit early on in this game. Tigers bat in the bottom of the first. And the 1-1 pitch. Slapped foul, back out of play. 1-2. Victor in the series 1 for 8, and I don't think there's any question, Rod, that the Tigers really need to get his bat going, because I think many felt by this point of the year it would have gotten going.
Yeah, for sure, because he didn't miss all of last year with the knee injury. And it's going to take a while before you kind of get your legs underneath and you start to feel confident again. But many did feel 2 months in Victor would be hitting a little bit better than he is now, especially after the way that he performed in spring training. It kind of looked like he hadn't missed a beat there for a while.
Yeah, not at all. Fouled away again.
They got a couple of pieces missing right now. They miss Jackson too. I know Infante and Dirks have done pretty well at the top of that batting order, but it's nothing like having a speed guy up there to disrupt the attention of the starting pitcher when that leadoff hitter's on base.
Well, that may have something to do with the inconsistencies the Tigers offense has shown. We talked about last night being their 6th shutout of the year. They were really good in the first game, and then the bats went quiet last night. Of course, Cobb had something to do with that. 1-2 is slapped back out of play.
Yeah, quite a few of those shutouts have come since Jackson hasn't been playing too.
Who, by the way, Jackson was running the bases before the game today, testing out that hamstring, and he looked to be okay, which is good news. No official word on how that went. 1-2 on Victor Martinez. We're in the first, no score. Cabrera, 2-out single, fielder, 2-out walk. Lifted foul, back out of play.
It's about 12 noon today with Kevin Rand, the head trainer, and also Javar Gillette, who keeps the guys and getting them in shape, running a straight line, making some turns, going second to home, not running full speed at all. But the fact that there's possibly no pain is always a good thing.
Jackson hit a couple of days ago and had a little bit of soreness, so they backed him off a little bit. There's a swing and a miss. Martinez is gone, and so are the Tigers. First strikeout of the game for Hernandez. And the community since 1849. Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by Coffee Mate Creamers 16 ounce. Add your flavor with Coffee Mate from Nestle. Good food, good life. A little bit of a cloudy, overcast day here in downtown Detroit. The Tigers and Rays wrapping up this series. We go to the top of the second, and we have no score. Lights are turned on here at the ballpark. Max Scherzer back to the hill. James Loney will start things off for the Rays. It'll be Loney, then Jennings, then Scott. Scherzer struck out 2 in the first inning. .324 batting average, 2 out of 7 of the series. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Floats outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. 4 times this year, Max has struck out 10 or more. In fact, he struck out 10 in his last start in Baltimore. That was that gut-wrenching loss.
Did you realize Max's numbers were this good this year against left-handed batters? 189.
No.
He's always dominated right-handers. They've never been a problem for him. But what he's been able to do against lefties this year is remarkable.
He's got this lefty down in the count 1-2. See you later. Struck him out.
We talked about this at the top of the hour. The fact Max has the fastball that gets up to 95, 98 miles an hour. He throws most of them up in the zone. So all of a sudden you get the right-handers looking for it, and then he has this pitch for the lefties. And this is why the numbers are so good against left-handers. Real nice changeup, real nice curveball he continues to master. And because of that, the numbers are about 100 points lower for left-handers this year than last year against Max.
Here is Desmond Jennings with 1 out. That's in there, a strike. A couple of RBIs for Jennings, 1 for 6 in the series. There's a swing and a miss, 0-2.
His stuff these days is as good as anybody's stuff in the American League. And I said anybody. That's how well Max has been pitching this year.
Well, he's gone 8 innings in 2 of his last 3 starts. 3 of his last 5. Here's the 0-2 coming home. Checked it, went around. Strike 3 called.
Look out, Max.
He has struck out 4 in a row.
I mean, all of a sudden you start looking for the changeup and the breaking ball, and he comes back with a well-located fastball, and he paints with them on the outside black for strike 3. Take a look at our charter stat here today. Max, take a look at the fastballs in 2013. Only 56% thrown this year, 21% breaking balls. But back in 2009, he was throwing over 70% with his fastball, and what that tells us is that he's a lot more comfortable with his off-speed stuff, and he's really learned how to pitch the last couple of years.
Well, he seems to be throwing his off-speed stuff for strikes a whole lot more consistently.
Arm slot, staying on top of the ball, able to repeat his delivery consistently.
Luke Scott, the batter. Ball outside, 1-1 on Scott. After the single by Zobrist in the first, Scherzer has struck out 4 straight. Scott batting just .227. He is 1 for 17 on their road trip. That's low, 2-1. Scott has been through some struggles recently. Of course, he missed 25 games at the start of the year with a calf strain. Here's the 2-1. Soft line drive to center. That's going to drop. Base hit. 2-out single for Scott. And that keeps the inning going for Jose Molina. Second hit of the ball game for the Rays. Molina back in there for this game. Lobatone caught yesterday for the Rays. Molina over the years has been a solid offensive performer. Nothing spectacular, but He's been decent, but it's what he brings behind the plate that has given him a lot of value over the years. In fact, last year, the team ERA was 3.22 with Molina behind the plate. And of course, you could say, well, that has a lot to do with all the talent they have in the rotation. True. As you look at the numbers on Scherzer, he's pounding the strike zone. Molina comes from a catching family. His brothers Yadier and Benji, also big league catchers, although Benji out of the game now. Right back up the middle and off the glove of Infante into short center. Scott will hold at second base. And Molina's aboard.
Ball nearly hit Max. And Omar Infante took a couple of steps to his right, couldn't backhand it. We watched Omar make this type play a couple times last night, although those balls weren't hit as hard as this one Molina hit, but Omar can make that play.
2 on 2 out. Scherzer has gone first pitch strike on 6 of 8. That last play ruled a base hit.
And some of those first pitch strikes have been off speed pitches.
Escobar takes ball 1.
Here's an area where the Tampa club has really improved. Runners in the scoring position. They're the best team in the American League as far as the batting average.
Well, not only are they
concerned,
the best, they're hitting .300 with runners in scoring position as a team. And there's only one team in the major leagues that has a better RISP than the Rays, and that would be the Cardinals over in the National League at .339.
Yeah, big difference for Joe Madden's offense than the last 2 years. They were right around .240 in 2011 and 2012 with runners in scoring position.
Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Yunel Escobar. Escobar's been good with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. 304. Trying to deliver here in the second after back-to-back hits by Scott and Molina. Neither team scored until the 9th in last night's ball game when the Rays put up 3. In the air, shallow center. Kelly coming on to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. cheeks are a little bit puffy.
Well, you
And
know,
my forehead is huge.
you know I'm always eating.
It is scoreless as we go to the bottom of the second, and Roberto Hernandez back to the hill. Peralta, Avila, and Infante coming up here in the bottom of the second. Peralta batting .332. Tigers back in that first inning, got a single and a walk, but could not do any damage. Johnny in the series 3 for 9 with a double and a couple of runs scored. And Peralta coming in 4th in the American League with that .332 batting average. Hernandez goes to work now in the bottom of the second. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Hernandez spent the last 7 years in the Cleveland system. He did not start last year until the month of August due to some visa issues. Major League Baseball suspended him as well for a false identity situation, and so Fausto Carmona then became Roberto Hernandez, his real name. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and he dusts off Peralta rather quickly.
Real nice pitch here by Carmona. It's changeup that's fading down and away from down and in to Johnny Peralta.
Who is it?
Over and under was 4 for me today, by the way.
Well, you're at what, 3 now?
2. I'm at 2. 1 I said on purpose.
Oh boy.
That's the last one.
All right. Here's Alex Avila. I'm thinking maybe it's not.
I mean, we've been calling the guy that for like 6-7 years now.
7 years. He's been Fausto Carmona. I mean, it's just.
And he still looks like Fausto.
Yeah. No balls, 1 strike. Be like you showing up to the ballpark one day saying, "I'm now Joe Garagiola."
Yeah.
It would be tough to make that transition.
No doubt.
The 0-1 pitch is skied in the air to left. Sam Fold is under it. 2 gone.
When the Tampa Rays decided to trade James Shields to the Kansas City Royals, they knew they had good pitching, but they also knew they had to find somebody to eat up some innings for them, because Shields, in 6 consecutive seasons, he had surpassed 200 innings. So they found Hernandez to give them those 30 starts and the 200 innings pitched.
By the way, it's now 2.5. I'm only giving you a half for that one because you said Cart and then you stopped. 1 ball, no strikes on Omar. Strap yourself in, Rod. We got 8 more innings to go. Don't worry. No runs, 3 hits for the Rays. No runs, 1 hit for the Tigers. Well, Hernandez pitched well in his last outing, 8 2/3 in the win against Miami. Here's a strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that last pitch, that's when he's at his best, that 91-mile-per-hour sinker. And they're barreling in on right-handed batters.
Molina sets up outside, and he missed with it. 2-1 on Infante. Omar off to a nice start of the month, June, 385, about a week into this month. Sits safely in his last 3. Hernandez with the 2-1 pitch. On the ground to the shortstop Escobar. And that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Roberto Hernandez. No scores. You're watching Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Florentine sandwich. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price period, Bell Tire. Back here at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit, the Flying Spikes of Tyrus Raymond Cobb. There's a strike called on Sam Fuld, who leads it off in the top of the third. Fuld, Zobrist, and Joyce. Scherzer back in the second inning, gave up a couple of 2-out hits, but he got Escobar to fly to shallow center field. 3 hits already for the Rays and 1 for the Tigers, but neither team has scored a run. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Sam Fuld. Flied out to right field to start the ball game. Here's the 1-2. Little chopper hit slowly towards second, and Infante has it there. Fuld is out, 1 gone. Back to the studio we go for an update. Here's Shannon Hogan. Many apologies, Ryan. If I knew it was you, I would have sent it back to you. Sorry about that. Anyway, nice update. 1-0 here is, or 1 out here in the third with a 1-0 count on Ben Zobrist. Scherzer fires a strike on the outer edge. 1-1 the count. Zobrist had himself a single in the first, but then Scherzer battled back with a couple of strikeouts. That ended the first inning. Here's a bouncing ball to second. Infante will have another chance. And 2 up, 2 down.
As much as Joe Madden, the manager of the Rays, likes to look at numbers and matchups, he's not looking at numbers here today with his hitters against Max. 4 of the first 5 hitters all bat left-handed today. And we told you Max this year, batting average for left-handers is under 200 against Max.
A marked improvement, to be sure, as Matt Joyce stands in from the left side. 259 this year for Joyce. Strike called 0-1.
Joyce is such a good fastball hitter. That's why you start him off with off speed. He doesn't agree with the call there of Scott Berry, but it's a good pitch. But if you throw him fastballs early in counts, he likes to ambush you.
Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the Tigers got Edwin Jackson when they traded Joyce to the Tampa Bay Rays. Joyce, a hometown kid, was born in the Tampa area. And they only got 1 year out of Jackson, did the Tigers, but they got a really good year from Edwin.
Made an all-star team.
Joyce originally drafted by the Tigers in 05. The trade happened December of 08. Here's the 1-2 offering. Lifted to center. Don Kelly ranging right. Scherzer has himself a 1-2-3 inning. A fabulous post-game fireworks display. It's courtesy of Pepsi. If you'd like ticket information, pretty simple. 866-66-Tigers phone number, or check it out online at tigers.com. Here come the Tigers as we go to the bottom of the third. Don Kelly will lead things off for Detroit. It'll be Kelly, then Dirks, and then Torrey Hunter.
Friday nights are always special here at Comerica Park. You got the fireworks, and you also have Justin Verlander, who is towing the rubber tomorrow night for the Tigers.
Well, you got to get your tickets then. Fireworks and Verlander. Verlander against Ubaldo Jimenez.
Jimenez is pitching a whole lot better this year than he has since they got him from the Colorado Rockies.
I think he's had one or two really bad starts, which has inflated his ERA, but it comes in at 4.83. Not bad.
We saw him real good twice already this year.
Here's the 1-1 to Don Kelly. 1-2 on Don. Starting in center field today. Garcia had been getting some reps out there. Here's the 1-2 offering. Got him. Strike three right at the belt. Third strikeout for Hernandez. Just as a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller time later in today's game, it's brought to you by Miller Lite. Tigers got to get the bats going. They were shut out in last night's ball game. They managed only 6 hits against Alex Cobb. Grounded foul right by Mr. Belliard at first base. 0-1 on Dirks. Andy came in as a .282 hitter in the leadoff spot this year. Here's the 0-1. Hit the third. Right at Longoria. 2 outs. That's 6 in a row retired by Hernandez. Torrey Hunter still looking for home run number 300. His next one will be number 300. Strike one. Torrey fly to center field back in the first. He's 0 for 1. The 0-1 pitch bounces in. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm talking about that last start that Hernandez made against the Marlins. 8 2/3, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 5 strikeouts. His best start of the season. 3-1 win for the Rays. Chopped to third, foul. So as the Rays get David Price back, their starting rotation will get even stronger. And the rotation has been the cornerstone of their success over the past few years. And a 1-2. Slowly to the second baseman, Zobrist. And Hernandez has another 1-2-3 inning. 3 in the books here at Comerica. His 300th career home run on this day back in 1979. That is your question. Now, could that be a visual hint? Could be.
Could be.
Might not be as well. We'll find out. In the meantime, Evan Longoria leads it off. Then Loney, then Jennings facing Max Scherzer. We've had 4 hits in this game, 3 for the Rays, 1 for the Tigers. That's it. Strike 1 on Longoria. Evan is going to be a Ray for a long time. Back in November, signed a 10-year deal. Tried to check a swing, couldn't do it. Now it's 0-2.
Good for him to finally get paid, because when he first came up as a rookie after about a week in the major leagues, he signed about a 6-7 year deal, and that he outgrew in about 2 years.
Yeah, he outgrew that very quickly. Here's the 0-2. Into the glove for strike 3. 1 out.
Max started him off with a real slow breaking ball to get strike 1. Then he finishes him off with a 94-mile-per-hour heater right around the belt buckle.
Well, join us again tomorrow. The Tigers welcome in the Cleveland Indians. Coverage begins at 6 with Tigers Live. Tigers Tribe tomorrow at 6 right here on Fox Sports Detroit. And Mr. Verlander toes the slab in that ball game tomorrow.
Cleveland already in town. They got here yesterday evening.
Kicking up their heels. Relaxing. 5 strikeouts for Scherzer, and 4 of them swinging. Loney struck out back in the second. Speaking of Verlander, our well wishes to his brother Ben Verlander, who is scheduled to be drafted this year. The draft starts tonight, the amateur draft in Major League Baseball. So JV's little brother Ben, who's quite an outfielder and quite a hitter.
Yeah, Ben said he wants to go out and play. He's got 1 more year of college, but he says he's ready to go play.
He had a great year at Old Dominion, so we wish Ben well and good luck. We'll see where he lands in the draft. 2-0 on Loney. Loney 2 out of 8 in this series. In the shallow center field, Don Kelly coming on, stretching out and making a fabulous catch in center. Took a base hit away from Loney. 2 outs.
Don needed to leave his feet to make that play as well. If he stays up, he short hops that ball. It's amazing how Don Kelly could really play all 3 outfield positions and really not miss a beat playing any of those outfield positions.
Really good play there. Here's Desmond Jennings. .251 for Jennings this year. 0 for 1. He also a strikeout victim back in the second. Slaps that one in the air to right field. Hunter coming on, and that is going to be another 1-2-3 for Max Scherzer. saw for the Tigers. Who knows, he might be your Tiger player of the game. You can vote for your Tigers McDonald's player of the game, presented by the new Detroit Tigers M&M McFlurry, only in McDonald's. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, then a space, and then the player's uniform number to 37338. Get your vote in. Cabrera, fielder Martinez, the heart of the Tigers lineup, facing Roberto Hernandez.
And last time Miguel got a base hit the opposite way against Hernandez. Hernandez pounded him hard inside early in the count, got ahead of him, then he tried to finish him off away, and Miggy got him a base hit between first and second.
Hammers the first pitch back out of play, 0-1. Only one Tigers hit in the game, and that is the single by Cabrera. They've also had a walk, but right now Hernandez has retired 7 straight. Here's the 0-1. Fought that one off, and the count 0-2. Hernandez won 19 games back in the 2007 season. His ERA was a little bit over 3. Teamed up with CC Sabathia that year and that Indian staff. Jake Westbrook was on that staff. And they got to the ALCS. They won 96 games that year. Now Cabrera given time. Hernandez taking too long. In fact, CC won the Cy Young Award that season.
Wasn't Cliff Lee on that staff too?
Well, you know, you might be right.
Yeah, he wasn't pitching very much, though. He wasn't as efficient that season, because I believe he got left off the playoff roster that year.
And really, that was the only outstanding year that Hernandez had. He was the opening day starter in 2011 for the Indians, but he lost 15 games that year. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Miguel Cabrera.
He was better suited at being a number 3, number 4 starter. When you elevate a guy to that number 1 slot, you're going up against all the other number 1s, at least for the first month of the season. And most of your starts after the second half begins. And you got to be top of your game then, and he was not.
Swing and a miss, and Cabrera is out of there. 1 out here in the 4th.
He's able to punch Miguel Cabrera out, and he jumps off the mound and he stares Miggy down. Take a look at Hernandez after this. Miggy staring at him, and he's staring him right back down.
The 2 shall meet again. This round goes to Hernandez. There's a slicing single to left for Prince. 1 on, 1 out.
You see the grip here. Change-up grip from Carmona. We talk a lot about his sinker ball, but he's actually got a really good change-up. That would be Hernandez.
Victor Martinez. Only the second Tigers hit of the game, both of them singles. Victor struck out in the first. Hernandez with 3 punch-outs in this game. Fouled back out of play, 0-1. For the longest time, the Rays had gone with nothing but homegrown talent in their rotation, and then they signed Hernandez to pitch for them as a free agent, and they had gone over 1,200 games without using a free agent pitcher in their starting rotation. 1,200 games. Pretty amazing. There's a drive to right field. That ball is hit well. That ball is going to go. A 2-run shot for Victor Martinez, and it's 2-0 Detroit.
Hernandez able to throw fastballs by Victor Martinez the first time up. This time 91-mile-per-hour fastball inside, and Victor was able to clear the hips. He caught it out in front and homered to right field to get the Tigers on the board.
Fourth home run of the year for Victor, and the Tigers have a 2-0 lead. That was the first Tigers runs in the last 12 1/3. They finally get on the board here today. 2 balls, no strikes on Johnny Peralta. Johnny's average now at .330. He struck out back in the second. Homer number 4, RBIs 27, 28 for Martinez. In there is strike 2-1.
We talk about Hernandez being an outstanding ground ball pitcher, but that is the 11th home run he's given up this year, which is quite a few. Hellickson, another starting pitcher on their staff, has given up 12.
Well, the Tigers certainly needed that one because they had not been able to score a run in last night's game, and they were being manhandled by Hernandez today before that home run. Ground ball left side out of the reach of Yunel Escobar. Base hit. 3 straight hits for the Tigers. Well, get ready, fans, for Fox Sports 1, America's new 24-hour sports network. Fox Sports 1 will be your home for great live sports, all the news and highlights you want, and shows and specials that only Fox could bring you. Fox Sports 1 coming August 17th. 1 on, 1 out, 2 runs in. Alex Avila flied out his first time up. Avila was able to show some signs last night of busting out. He had 3 really good at bats, 2 hits and a walk, a single and a double in the ball game. 1 ball, no strikes. Tigers have now out hit the Rays 4-3 in this game, scoring 2 here in the bottom of the 4th on the Martinez home run. Alex has admitted that his struggles this year have been mostly mental. But as we delve into the month of June, he's just not been able to get it going. Brian Pena has seen more reps behind the plate. Here's the 1-0. But make no mistake, this is the guy the Tigers certainly want to see night in and night out behind the plate. Jim Leyland has done some different things to try and get him going. He has sat him down a couple of days, then played him a couple of days. We'll see now if he can get on a roll. He's ahead here 2-0. And he drives one to right. Base hit. Peralta goes to second and stops there. 3rd hit of the series now for Avila.
Real nice job there by Avila, and forcing Hernandez to get the ball up in the strike zone on the 2-0 pitch. And he got one right down the middle, and he didn't miss it. He drilled it to the pull field.
Jim Hickey will make a visit to the mound after 4 straight hits for the Tigers, including a 2-run homer by Victor Martinez.
While Avila is fresh on our minds, let's take a look at a play that he made last night. He was helped out by Prince Fielder, who made a really nice play, diving, getting the ball to Avila. Lobaton, the catcher, who was on 3rd, he ran himself into an out, and then Yunel Escobar, who was on first base, tried to get to 3rd base, and Avila got credit for 2 putouts. Heads up play by Tigers catcher.
So the Tigers on top by 2, looking to add some more as Infante steps in. Omar bounced out back in the second. And he looks at strike one. Hernandez trying to get the ground ball here to get himself a double play.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Here's the 0-1. There's a ground ball to short. Escobar fires to second. One of the relay is a double play. Got him by half a step. 6-4-3. However, the Tigers grab the lead. 2-run shot by Victor. Victor Martinez, 2-run homer, giving the Tigers a 2-0 lead. And Max Scherzer back to the hill. Cloudy, overcast day, lights on here at the ballpark. Still pretty much pleasant though. 63 degrees our temperature right now. 2-5-0 for Detroit. 0-3-0 for the Rays. Bottom three coming up here against Max in the 5th inning. It'll be Scott, Molina, and then Escobar. The 3 hits allowed by Scherzer are all singles. Zobrist, Scott, and Molina. Luke now batting .236. Pops up a bunt back into the seats. 0-1 on Scott. His best year in Baltimore was 2010 when he hit 29 home runs. And as we saw on the last road trip, that ballpark in Baltimore, especially when it heats up, well, the homers just fly out of that yard.
That's a fun yard to hit in.
No balls, 2 strikes. Scherzer has racked up 5 strikeouts already. 1-2. I mentioned Max has gone 10 or more in the strikeout category in 4 separate starts. His season high is 12. And that was against Seattle. Here's the 1-2. Off the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jose Molina waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2. Foul straight back. Rays came into this game having won 8 of their previous 10, and they're on an 8-game road trip right now, in which obviously they're winding up here today. They've won 5 of the first 7. So they had a chance coming into this game to finish up 6-2 on the road trip. Pulled on the ground to second. Infante's been busy. Throw him out, 1 away.
Yeah, Max is at it again this afternoon against the Tampa Ray offense. And one of the things he's done today that's been impressive, he's thrown out a lot of first pitch off speed pitches, whether it be the changeup fading down and away from the left-handers, or his slider, or even his curveball. But once he gets ahead of you, boy, he can finish you off with that mid-90s heater. And he's locating it beautifully on the outside part of the plate.
Six times this year Max has pitched into the 8th inning, and today he's thrown only 55 pitches so far. There's a swing and a miss by Molina.
He has done that a lot. First pitch breaking ball. And if you're the Tampa hitters, when a guy has 95 in his back pocket, you have to respect that. So you look for your fastball first pitch, and he throws you that. And that's why we've seen so many ugly swings so far today.
Hooked right to the third baseman Cabrera.
I can honestly say, partner, that we have watched Max go from a thrower with a really good fastball when they got him from Arizona until a really good pitcher.
We've seen that improvement incrementally every year. We certainly, I think, saw him take the biggest step last year. And now he's just continued that this year and would be considered an ace on many staffs in the major leagues. Here is Escobar. Scherzer has not gone to a 3-ball count in this game. Here's ball 1 on Escobar, who flied to center field back in the second. The 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Max has that way of going about his business. He gets the ball, gets right back on top of the slab. Rarely we see him walk around the hill on the grass. He's just ready to go after each pitch. There's a strike, 2-1. And it's something that was taught to him in college by his pitching coach. They gave him a certain amount of time to get back on the hill and throw the next pitch to develop a good rhythm. The 2-1. 2-2.
Tigers, by and large, have an entire staff that works rather quickly. Verlander, Fister, Sanchez, Porcello. None take a whole lot of time in between pitches.
Boyanoval's been really good.
Oh, lights out.
Porcello has put together a couple of really good starts as well. Here's the 2-2. Another foul back out of play.
It's really a shame to pitch as well as Porcello did in Baltimore a few days ago, and Fister did last night, and then take a loss.
Definitely a little bit disheartening. And again, the 2-2. Down low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, nobody on. We're in the 5th. Scherzer has retired 9 straight. There's the ratio, just 63 total. 3-2 pitch, and he walked him. 2 out base on balls, which will bring that streak of 9 straight to an end. First walk of the game for Max. Top of the order now, Sam Fuld. Line out, ground out. And a 188 batting average now for Fuld. In the air to left, straight at Dirks, and that is that. Nothing comes to the walk. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. hit his 300th career home run on this day back in 1979. Was it Al Kaline? Negative. Willie Horton did it with Seattle, and he did it against Detroit off Jack Morris.
How about that?
Huh. Great tribute today.
We heard Willie's doing a whole lot better. Of course, he had some surgery a few weeks ago. Then he had to go back in the hospital, but he is home, resting comfortably at home. And get well, Willie. We miss you out here at the ballpark.
Great news. Don Kelly leading it off as we go to the bottom of the fifth. That'll get back into the seats. 0-2 on Don.
That and the fact that his wife Gloria probably ready for him to get out the house too.
It's usually like that.
You know it.
You camp out in the crib, as you like to say, a little bit too long, and it's time to go.
Yeah. Don't you have somewhere to go?
Kelly, Dirks, and Hunter here in the fifth facing Hernandez. Missed that one low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-run shot by Victor Martinez. The difference right now, that happened back in the fourth. The Tigers had a couple more hits in that frame, but Hernandez got himself a double play ball. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball right side under the glove of Loney into right field. Leadoff single here in the fifth inning. This Sunday, the Tigers host the Indians at 1:08. It's on-field photo day at the ballpark. Take pictures of your favorite Tigers on the field prior to the game. For ticket information, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Bring your camera and take photos of your favorite Tiger.
That's always a really cool day because for the most part during the regular season, the fans don't get up close and personal to the players like they do in spring training. But they do get access to them on that day.
What kind of camera do you have, Rob?
Phone.
That's about it, right?
Yes, I'm serious.
I thought you were going to say Polaroid.
No, I use my phone.
Leadoff man aboard. Dirks ground out in the first, ground out in third.
Used to have one of those fancy cameras with the big lenses and things like that,
Yeah.
but I couldn't figure out how to use it.
Yeah. The phone's much easier.
No doubt.
Point and click. There goes the runner. And a ground ball to second. We'll keep him out of the double play. 1 out.
That's a nice job by Jim starting the runner. Hernandez throws tons of ground balls.
So it's an RBI chance for Torrey Hunter. Fly ball, ground out. Oh for 10 in the series for Torrey, so this would be a perfect spot for his first hit. Bust him inside. 1-0. Tigers have 2 runs, 6 hits. The Rays have been limited to 3 hits this afternoon and no runs. Torrey batting .319 with runners in scoring position. Grounded foul.
Hernandez looks every bit as good as when he used to pitch for Cleveland and when he was pitching well. And staying on top of the sinker, a lot of late life. He's got action on the changeup. He's thrown a few breaking balls, but he's kept those down. What a nice find for Tampa. They signed him to a $3 million contract in the offseason.
1-1.
That pitch right there is just, can't hit it. I mean, it looks like it's right down the middle, and then look at the late life on it. That ball just ever so slightly just starts to creep in on the right-handers, and they can't barrel it up.
One and 2 on Hunter. The difference today is Hernandez's former battery mate Victor Martinez got him for a 2-run shot. Swing and a miss, and Torrey is out of there. 2 gone.
Take a peek at some of Roberto's numbers. in his career. 161 strikeouts to walk ratio, much better than in the past.
Whip is down. Strikeouts per 9 is up. Here's Cabrera. Ball 1. Two out, risk 577.
What is Miguel doing?
I don't know. Does he want the number 1? The heater?
I don't know what he was doing there.
Now these two kind of stared at each other. The last time Cabrera faced Hernandez, he struck him out back in the 4th. In the air to center field. Jennings, and a diving attempt instead by Joyce in right center. Can't get it. That'll get the run in, and Cabrera wins this battle with Hernandez. It's an RBI single. 2-out variety, and those numbers will creep up a little bit more.
To be quietly honest with you, I'm surprised that Joe Madden didn't walk him there with the base open. He walked him twice yesterday intentionally. It's a little breaking ball that doesn't do a whole lot, and Cabrera didn't hit it on the barrel of the bat down the label, but still strong enough to get himself a single and another RBI.
Joyce almost got to that ball. And here now is Prince Fielder. 3-0 Tigers. Single walk for Fielder. Single came back in the 4th. Swing and a miss. Tigers now 3 runs, 7 hits. Deep is Zobrist to the outfield grass, as a matter of fact. And the 0-1. Fielder's base hit back in the 4th set up the home run by Victor, and it also extended Prince's hitting streak to 11 consecutive games. Which is the longest hitting streak he's had this year. Drill to center field. Jennings on the move. It's going to drop. Base hit. Cabrera gets to second. Tigers have another hit.
And Victor last time up, 2-run home run to right field, 91-mile-per-hour fastball inside. Take a look at the hips. He clears them out of the way, and that allows the bat to come through the strike zone free and easy. And when you barrel it up like that, it's going to travel about 340 feet.
Fourth home run of the year for Victor Martinez. 28 RBIs now, and he stands in there with 2 men on, 2 men out.
It was also the 11th home run that Hernandez has given up this year, which is quite a few for a sinker baller.
Strike 1 to Martinez. Hernandez gave up 3 home runs in a game against the White Sox. That was in Chicago, April 26th.
Yeah, that can be a launching pad too.
Oh, no doubt. Oh, 0-1 on Martinez. Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
When the Rays decided to sign Hernandez, they knew they were getting a guy that had a really good sinker ball, a guy that since coming to the big leagues in 2006 averaged 2.5 ground balls for every fly ball. And they felt like with their infield, their defenders, that he would have a really good season. And he's having an okay season, but he is leaving too many balls up in the strike zone, not allowing the defenders to work behind him.
Back up the middle and snagged by Escobar. What a play.
That ball found him.
That'll end the inning. So Martinez hit it hard. Tigers will settle for 1 run. Report card on Max Scherzer, and well, he's starting the season 7-0, and here are some of the better starts over the years. Scherzer at 7-0. Bonderman was 8-0 to start 07, and a couple of 9-0s in the mix as well. And Scherzer back to the hill. He'll go to work now with a 3-0 lead as Ben Zobrist stands in for the Rays. Zobrist, Joyce, and Longoria. Here's the 1-0. Ball inside. .380 for the Tigers, 0-3-0 for the Rays. Tigers have stranded 5, 4 left for Tampa today. Max missing low, and now the count goes to 3 balls, no strikes.
Only the second time today he's gone 3 balls on one of the Tampa hitters.
Here's the 3-0. Scherzer at one point had retired 9 straight before he walked Escobar back in the 5th, and that was the first 3-ball count that he'd gotten to. He's gone to 3-1 here on Zobrist. And he walked it.
Let's take a look at our bell tire pitch by pitch. Matt Joyce, he is fanned once and popped up once. First at bat today, changeup, fastball, and then he finishes them off with a really good changeup. Second time up today, he starts him off with changeup, and then he goes 2 in a row with a changeup, and then he finally gets him to pop out on the fastball. So just another idea of how good Max has been this year at mixing his pitches up to the left-handed hitters. Probably start him off with a fastball this time.
Joyce 0 for 2. And he missed inside with a fastball. At 94, and now Avila heads out to the mound.
Yeah, that's a good visit right here by Avila, because Avila was set up on the outside part of the plate on that first pitch fastball to Joyce, and that ball was a couple of inches inside off the plate. Sun's starting to make an appearance here today.
How about that? We have not seen it all day long. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike on Matt Joyce. Ten home runs, tied for the team lead along with Longoria. Kelly Johnson as well, who was a scratch last night, not playing today either. Missed it low, 2-1. Three and 1. Avila has to spin down there to get that one. Waiting on deck, Evan Longoria, and right now it's a 3-0 game. So if you put Joyce on, Longoria the tying run. Joyce went to high school at Armwood High School, which is just east of downtown Tampa. Strike called. He wanted himself a walk, but he's called back by Scott Berry. 3-2.
There's been a lot of players, a lot of good players come out of Tampa. Sheffield would be one. McGriff would be one. Lou Piniella lives down in that area. Luis Gonzalez.
Tino Martinez, I believe, right?
Yep. A lot of guys.
Another toss back to first. Well, after his high school days, Matt Joyce went on to play collegiately at Florida Southern College.
Xfinity is telling us that Max has gotten up to 95 here today. And that slow breaking ball at 75.
3-2. Lifted in the air toward left. Long run for Dirks. Coming over. Will make the catch in fair territory. 1 out. Let's go back to the studio now and check in with Ryan Field. Ryan, thank you. Here, the Tigers holding on to their 3-0 lead. As Evan Longoria steps in. 1 on, 1 out of the 6th. Longoria has had no luck at all against Scherzer so far. A couple of strikeouts. And Max slings one outside, 1-0. Longoria this year is the only Tampa Bay Ray to have started every game. After missing considerable time last year with a slightly torn hamstring. We'll shoot that one foul back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Max has 5 strikeouts in the game, but he'll take a ground ball here. And Longoria has grounded in already this year, 6 double plays. Yunel Escobar, their shortstop, has grounded into 7 of those.
One runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second. Tag is not in time. Steal for Zobrist.
Hey, Ben stole this one on Max. It's a good ball to throw, and Avila takes very little time getting the ball exchanged from the glove to the throwing hand, and he makes a firm throw, but not before that left hand of Zobrist gets in ahead of the tag of Infante.
4 out of 4 now for Zobrist in the stolen base category. 1 and 2 on Longoria. Swing and a miss. He has struck him out 3 times today. Two gone.
And we've well documented the fact that the Tigers have a staff full of right-handed starting pitchers that aren't afraid to throw their changeup to right-handed batters. And that's just the latest example of it. And believe it or not, there are quite a few right-handed pitchers that have good changeups in the big leagues that will not throw their changeup to righties.
Well, that last one has given Scherzer his 6th strikeout of the game. Here's James Loney. And he shoots one toward Peralta over his head, base hit. That'll score the run. Zobrist comes in. It's a 2-out RBI single for Loney. And the Rays are on the board.
And Loney having a really good year, hitting .321 before this base hit. Looks like another changeup that he stays on long enough that he hits off the end of the bat in the shallow left field with 2 out. Zobrist on the move. No play on him at home plate.
Loney has his 31st RBI. Here's Jennings. In for strike 1. Jennings fly ball strikeout. That was just the 4th hit of the afternoon for Tampa Bay. One ball, 1 strike as we check out the Bernstein advantage. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you. Since 2012, 30 or more steals, 10 or more triples. Jennings on that list, along with Elvis Andrus and Mike Trout. Good pitch inside part of the plate, and it's 1-2 now on Desmond Jennings.
Here's his new curveball that Max is featuring at about 75 miles an hour.
Swing and a miss to strike him out. Jennings out of there. Scherzer now 7 strikeouts through 6 innings. It is 3-1 Detroit. On what has turned out to be, how about this, Rod, a sunny day, believe it or not.
We'll take that. A little chilly earlier when we started, but starting to warm up nicely here at Comerica Park, downtown Detroit.
So we have Johnny Peralta leading it off here against Roberto Hernandez. And the Tigers up by a pair of runs. It'll be Peralta, Avila, and Infante. And the first pitch rides inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnny in the ball game, a single and a strikeout. One of the 8 Detroit hits in this game. 2-run homer by Victor Martinez. RBI single by Miguel Cabrera. Here's the 1-0. Peralta sends it foul on the ground. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Indians will be coming to town next. 3-game series before the Tigers hit the road after the game on Sunday. Here's the 1-1 offering. Lifted in the air to right center field. That ball looks like trouble. If it gets down, it will. All the way to the wall. Peralta is going to hit the bag at second and stop there. It's a leadoff double. And 2 more hits today for Johnny Peralta.
I thought for sure Johnny was going to get his first triple of the year. He gets a breaking ball that's not doing a whole lot. He hits it out there in Triple's alley. But he pulled up at second.
So we'll see if the Tigers can get this run in now as Alex Avila stands in.
Might be difficult for Alex to get that ball to hit it to second base as he's trying to do here against the sinker baller Hernandez. He's got heavy sink that he's going to run down and away from Avila and try to make it difficult on him.
0-1 on Avila. Single and a fly ball for Alex.
Slight shift on Avila. Zobrist on the right side, and you have Unell basically right back up the middle. Very important for Peralta to know exactly where he's at.
Not far enough away from the catcher for the runner to advance. 1 ball, 1 strike. Avila showing signs in this series. He had the 2 hits and the walk in last night's game. And another base hit here. That happened in the 4th inning. 2-1. $80 total now for Hernandez. Tigers first got to Hernandez in the fourth with the 2-run homer by Victor Martinez. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Avila. Infante will be next. Last night the Tigers in game 2 in the series managed only 6 hits. They have 9 already today. The offense has perked up a little bit. Inside 3-2. Full count on Avila. Swing and a miss to strike him out. Alex is down, 1 gone. Runner does not advance.
For the most part, every single pitch he threw to Avila was an off-speed pitch. Finally at 82 at the bottom of the zone. Had Avila out in front. And he swung right over the top of strike 3.
Jake McGee starts to warm up in the Tampa bullpen.
He's got a big arm. His fastball will get all the way up to 98 miles an hour.
Pulled over the head of the third baseman in the left. Base hit. Peralta being stopped at third base, and Infante has a single. First and third now with 1 out. A turning point, you would think, in this game here. The Tigers have a chance to build on their lead and perhaps even knock Hernandez out of the game. Hickey is on the phone now, in touch with the bullpen. And they're going to buy some time now for McGee as Molina walks out to the mound. It's Kelly right now, and Dirks, a lefty, would be next.
We haven't seen the Tigers utilize the squeeze play so far this year. Wouldn't be bad to do so if Jim got himself in a favorable count for Kelly, knowing that Hernandez was forced into throwing the ball over the plate.
Not a bad combination to do it here. Kelly has a single and a run scored in this game.
That's exactly why Hernandez threw over to first base. He wanted to see whether Kelly would tip or not, that he was going to square around.
And even 10 hits now for Detroit with that Infante single. He does it again. And Infante just a couple of steps off the bag, gets back easily.
Yeah, he's not concerned with Infante stealing a base. They just want to see whether they can pick up something in Kelly's demeanor in that batter's box.
Again, 3 in a row.
Well, they're also might be buying some time for the left-hander to get loose in the bullpen. That's exactly what they were doing.
There you go.
Joe Madden called all 3 of those throws over to first base to buy a little bit more time for McGee, his left-hander, to get ready.
And so the call has been made to the bullpen. That's going to be it for Roberto Hernandez. They will bring the lefty in to face the lefty Kelly. Wellside Windows pitching change. We'll be back.
It's a pretty good offense. The Tigers run out there on a daily basis. He got some easy outs. He got some fly balls because he's left some balls up. He also got some ground balls. He got 8 of those in the contest. He also had 6 strikeouts, and he got them with a variety of different pitches. It could be the real hard two-seam fastball that he features or the changeup fading away from the left-handers, and he also incorporated a nice little breaking ball here today. So nice outing today by Hernandez.
Well, for Hernandez, 8 ground ball outs in this game, his specialty over the years, 6 punch outs as well, and he will give way to the bullpen as the Tigers are threatening for more here in the 6th inning. And the numbers on Hernandez: 5 1/3, 10 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. He is still responsible for the runners at the corners. And Jim Leyland's going to counter the McGee move with one of his own. Abisail Garcia has picked up a bat. So McGee is ready, and here are the numbers on Jake McGee.
You can see he has 28 strikeouts this year in 21 1/3 innings, although the earned run average is elevated at 6.33. His fastball will go from 95 all the way up to 98, and that's pretty much what he features. Doesn't throw many breaking balls. Lots of heaters.
So here's Garcia. Garcia this year has been much better against right-handed pitchers. He is hitting .222 against lefties. 277 overall, and he's had a pretty good series, 3 out of 8. Runners at first and third. Peralta and Infante occupy the corners. Here's McGee's 1-0. Fouled straight back.
Garcia 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter this year. That one hit was a big one. It was a triple, and that drove in all 3 runs.
Meanwhile, McGee last year struck out 73 in 55 innings, and he appeared in 69 games out of the Rays bullpen. Lifted to right field. On the move is Joyce. To the corner he goes to make the catch. Peralta tags, and he will come in to score standing up. Good job by Garcia. Sac fly. RBI. 4-1 Detroit. That run will belong to Roberto Hernandez. 10th RBI for Garcia, who receives the congratulations of his teammates. Here's Andy Dirks. Andy looks at a strike 0-1. He'll get back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. McGee, born in San Jose, California, grew up in New Mexico. Went to high school there. And in fact turned down a college scholarship to UNLV to sign with the Rays. 26 years old. And a big arm from the left side. Here's the 0-2. George had a pretty good rip there and fouled it straight back. Tigers today with 10 hits, only 4 for the Rays. And a 3-run lead right now for Detroit. Swing and a miss, and a late half-hearted swing there by Dirks to end the inning. Tigers get the run back though, and we're headed to the 7th here in downtown Detroit. 4-1 Tigers lead. Here at the ballpark, and MLB.com at bat. It's the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Tigers baseball, that is, with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Tigers.com. Simple as that. Avi Sayil Garcia stays in the game to play center. And so the Tigers and Max Scherzer now have a 3-run lead again. They've out-hit the Rays 10-4 in this game. Bottom 3 due up here against Max. It'll be Scott Molina Escobar. Wave and a miss, 0-1. Luke Scott in this game, a single and a ground out. Scherzer allowed a run in the 6th inning on an RBI hit by James Loney with 2 outs. And that's all for the Rays today. Here's the 0-1. Starting to get some action down in the Detroit bullpen. That would be the lefty Phil Cope. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Sails high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Max now is at 88 in the pitch count total. Swing and a miss, 2-2. It's been a rough road trip for Scott. He is 2 for 19 on this current trip for the Rays, who are trying to go 6-2 on this 8-game trip. Here's the 2-2. That's in the air, shallow left. Dirks coming over toward the line. Scott is out.
Here's some facts on Max Scherzer this year and just really how dominant he's been. And with 7+ strikeouts, he's done that 10 times this year. Sanchez 9, Hernandez also 9, Darvish and Samardzija also on that list. 4 American League pitchers and 1 National League pitcher. That kind of puts it all in perspective at how dominant Max and Sanchez really have been this year.
All right, here's a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Matt Moore came into this series as maybe one of the front runners to start the All-Star game. Scherzer, he's got to be in that conversation, isn't he?
He's in the conversation.
Moore's ERA was elevated courtesy of the beating the Tigers game. His ERA is up to 2.95.
I think Buchholz might be ahead of Max right now, simply and by the earned run average. Buchholz has been remarkable for Boston this year.
It's grounded foul. Buchholz 1.62.
He's about 8-0 too, isn't he?
Yeah. Benoit now is in the bullpen along with Cope.
But there's still about 3 weeks to a month before the All-Star game.
Here's the 1-2. And Molina down on strikes. Give Max 8 now and 99 strikeouts for the year. There they are. Buchholz coming into today at 1.62. Iwakuma, how about that? 1.94.
Cobb was good last night. We saw him up close and personal. Chris Sale very easily could have started the All-Star game last year. That honor went to Justin Verlander.
Here is Yunel Escobar. Swing and a miss. Walk and a fly ball. A little bit outside. Yunel Escobar was teammates with Brian Pena, the current Tiger. They were both teammates in Atlanta. Here's the 1-1. In fact, not only were they teammates in Atlanta, but they were good friends growing up as well. As Jamie Wright, the veteran, heats up. Here's the 2-1. That's in there. Escobar, native of Havana, Cuba. Sam Fold waiting on deck. Now the 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2. Next pitch for Max will be 100. And here it is. Got him, strike 3 in the outside corner. 9 strikeouts for Scherzer. His 100th strikeout of the year on his 100th pitch of the day. the Rays 4-1, trying to win 2 out of 3 in this series before the Indians start a series here tomorrow night. Max Scherzer, he has been one of the big stories today. 100 pitches in this game, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, and 9 strikeouts. Another outstanding effort today for Scherzer. And Torrey Hunter will lead things off for the Tigers here in the 7th. Hunter, Cabrera, and Fielder. And Jake McGee came on in the last half inning. He'll start things off here in the 7th. Strike 1.
He's thrown 8 pitches since coming into the game, and every last one of them have been fastballs. Majority of the fastballs right at 95 miles an hour for the big left-hander McGee. That ball comes out of his hand really nice and easy, too.
Joe Madden leaned on McGee quite a bit last year. We told you his numbers, big strikeout numbers. Nearly 70 appearances. He pops the glove at 95 with a fastball high and away, 1-2. Fifth round pick back in 04 of the Tampa Bay Rays. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Torrey is out of there. 1 gone in the 7th. Here is Cabrera. Another good day for Miguel. 2 for 3. Yes, his 2 hits are singles, but he's knocked in a run. And that average back up to 370.
Mickey just kind of takes what you give him. If he knows you're going to pitch to him, he'll do some damage. He'll double. On many occasions, hit it out of the ballpark. He's done that 17 times this year. But when you don't give him a whole lot to hit, he'll take a lousy single.
87 hits now on the season for Cabrera, who is certainly going to march toward 200 for the year. Last time a Tiger had that many hits through 57 games was a long time ago, 1950, George Kell. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cabrera last year had 205 hits. First time in his career he reached 200. Ooh, he knocks that one off of McGee. Does he have enough time? Throws it off the bag. And Cabrera's safe.
You don't see Miggy get many infield singles, but he drilled that ball right off the leg of McGee. McGee went over to grab it, then he threw off balance, really couldn't get anything on his throw. And Loney had to come off the bag to prevent the ball from going down the right field line.
That thing looked like it got him pretty good. I know it carried him far enough away. It's going to be a 3-hit day for Cabrera.
Looks like it got McGee right on the left shin.
Ooh, that it did. They're trying to determine whether or not he will continue. Well, as McGee figures it out, we'll tell you this as soon as the game ends. Our coverage continues with Tigers Live. Here from manager Jim Leland. We'll talk to the players as well, and of course we'll break down the game, show you all of the highlights. Tigers Live immediately after the game right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Yes, indeed. Watch Tigers Live after the game. And it looks like they will make a pitching change. So McGee is out of there. It's another Wallside Windows pitching change. We shall return.
Victor Martinez that touched him up for a 2-run shot to right field early in the game to get the Tigers on the board after being shut out last night. And there's that guy again. Miguel Cabrera drives in another run. He also has 3 hits in the game. And then you also have in this game Garcia, pinch hitting sacrifice fly the opposite way to plate Johnny Peralta. So a pretty good offensive day here today by the boys after being shut out last night.
Yeah, good offensive day, but it was also a good day for Max Scherzer. You know, Max just continues to mow through lineups now as he looks for his 8th consecutive win this year, Rod, and today was impressive again.
Well, I like the way that he really used his changeup early in counts, and he got to his fastball late. 9 strikeouts in the game for Max. He just continues to dominate the opponents that he goes up against. He has turned into one of the better pitchers in this league.
How about the Tigers now? 10 more hits in this game. That was good to see because last night they were shut down offensively by, yes, a pretty good pitcher, but they got the offense back on track today.
It's always nice to do that, and they allowed Miguel Cabrera to play here today. In last night's game, Joe Madden, the manager of the Rays, he didn't let Miggy play. He walked him his last 2 plate appearances, and because of that, I think that team was able to win that game with the 3 runs they scored in the 9th inning.
All right, so Prince getting ready to step in, and he will do it against the new pitcher, Jamie Wright, the veteran who is now in Tampa these days. He will take over for McGee. And the Tigers leading it 4-1. Have Cabrera at first base. And 1 out. Fielders had a nice day. Walk, 2 singles, and he looks at a strike.
And Wright throughout his career has always been one of those guys that has thrown lots of ground balls, and no doubt that's what he's looking for here off the bat of Prince Fielder. That 2-seam fastball, bottom of the zone. We'll see if he can get himself a double play.
Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike.
His leg kick is so slow. As we get a look at Prince's numbers against Wright, he's owned him, I guess you would say.
Oh, I would say so.
But Wright, his leg kick is so slow. Miguel Cabrera might be entertaining the thought of stealing a base here.
That's it for a strike. 1 and 2.
Of course, Miguel does not have a lot of foot speed, but he's a really good base runner with outstanding base running instincts.
He always has that inquisitive look on his face. What's my next move?
He's baiting him, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. Grounded foul. 1 and 2 on Prince. Jamie Wright, 38 years old. Big league career began in '96 with Colorado. As a starter in those days. And again, the 1-2. It is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wright pitched in the first game of this series, went 1 inning, gave up a couple of runs. It's fouled straight back. 2-2 on Prince. One out single by Cabrera off the leg of McGee, knocked him out of the game. Fielder's average starting to creep up again. It's up to 289 now. Slapped down the left field line, foul. The only Rays run happening in the 6th inning. Cabrera throws up his arms. Two and two. It just looks like he wants to run. And there he goes. And a swing and a miss. And he is down to second base safely with no throw.
You knew sooner or later he was going to steal the base because Wright was just way too slow with that leg kick. He picked the perfect pitch also to run on a really slow breaking ball. And that Molina made no play on Miggy at second.
Second steal of the year. This one is uncontested. Little game of cat and mouse now with Escobar, the shortstop.
I believe his last stolen base was uncontested too, where he caught the infielder sleeping and kind of stole third base with no play on him.
Here's Martinez. I don't remember that one. It was a steal of third?
Yeah. Infielders put their heads down and McGill just took off for third base while the pitcher was on the mound.
He's crafty. Big hit for Victor. 2-run shot in the fourth. His fourth home run of the year. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball, good one. On the outer edge, 1 ball, 1 strike. The pace established by Wright here is a rather slow one. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Wright has been all over the place. Colorado, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Kansas City, San Francisco, Texas. Do you want me to keep going?
Yes.
Cleveland, Seattle, Dodgers. And now Tampa. Here's the 1-2. Way outside, 2-2.
All those teams that he played with, he had spring training for the very first time in Florida this year. In all those other years, he had spring training in Arizona.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Bouncing ball left side. It's going to find a hole. Base hit. Cabrera rounding third. They send him home. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Miggy scores, and it's 5-1 Tigers.
Turns out the stolen base was a very good one and a productive one for Miguel. 2-2 pitch laced the other way with 2 outs. Miguel gets a really good break. Fold in left field, not known for arm strength, but he was playing shallow. And Miguel, because he got that real good jump, able to slide in safely and might have got himself a strawberry on that right hit.
He came up holding that leg. So Martinez having a big day. That is his 3rd RBI, his 2nd hit. Here's Johnny Peralta. Ball 1.
Here's a slide by Miguel. Gets up holding the right leg.
Here's the 1-0. And that ball might have bounced 10 times before it reached the catcher.
Yeah, he threw it real low, and it wasn't that firm.
2 out of 3 for Johnny. Single double run scored. Big run for the Tigers. They have scored at least 1 now in the last 4 consecutive innings.
And Fold was in rail shallow. He came up. He was almost at the shortstop position. He bounced right on the. I think that ball hit the dirt.
I think it did too. 2-1. Driven to right field. On the run is Joyce, going back to the warning track to haul it in. Tigers get another run, though. They up their lead. It's now 5-1 Detroit.
Came in 7 wins, no losses. He's looking to go 8-0 this year with another spectacular performance against the Tampa Bay Rays. A mixture of fastballs up and down in the zone, all in the mid-90s. And the secondary pitches were off the chain today, whether it be the curveball, the change, or the slider. Max has been money this year.
Here is our Comerica Bank game summary. Speaking of money, the Tigers lead at 5-1 as we're in the 8th inning here. Martinez, big day, 2-run homer, 3 RBIs today. These are the numbers on Scherzer. 7 strikeouts or more in 7 of his last 8 outings. Pretty impressive. And the starters in this series have done a pretty good job.
It's gotten to the point now, if you're an opposing team and you look on the schedule and you see you're going to play the Tigers, it used to be where you used to want to miss Justin Verlander, but now they got 3 guys down there that opposing teams would like to miss.
Yeah, and you can't miss all of them.
No.
There's Joaquin Benoit. He will take over.
He got his career resurrected down in Tampa. It was the year before the Tigers signed him to a 3-year contract. He pitched out of their bullpen. He pitched the 8th inning, and he was unbelievable that year for the Tampa Bay Rays, setting up for Rafael Soriano.
Ryan Roberts is pinch hitting for Sam Full to lead things off here in the 8th.
And really, since that day that he stepped into that 8th inning role for them 4 years ago, he has been one of the most consistent 8th inning guys in all of baseball.
He appeared in 63 games in the 2010 season out of the Rays bullpen, an ERA of 1.34. Driven to center field, Garcia drifting back for the out, 1 gone. Here is Ben Zobrist. Benoit that year struck out 75 in 60 1/3 innings. And then he joined the Tigers in 2011. Last year, 73 appearances out of the Detroit bullpen. Zobrist takes ball 1. Walk, steal, and a run scored. He also has a single. Ball 2. And now Benoit has gone to 3-0. Matt Joyce waiting on deck. Zobrist has been good at drawing walks. He leads their team in base on balls, but since the start of 09, he has led the American League in walks. Three-one pitch. Fouled away. 3-2. Zobrist, a former All-Star.
He also played for the WBC, the American squad.
You can't really call him a utility player because he plays every day, but he plays at different positions.
Yeah, but he's known as a utility player, though, and a good one.
Farnsworth warming up. I think Madden a couple of years ago coined the term super utility. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. Zobrist now has been on base in 18 of his last 19. Valverde tuning up in the Detroit bullpen. And the 3-2. He walked him. There's another base on balls for Zobrist. Second of the day. 1-on-1 out for Matt Joyce. Tiger bullpen ERA 3.83 entering play today. And Jim Leyland has admitted that certainly it's still not where they want it to be. Although when Valverde first got here, things were aligned a whole lot better because they were bullpen by committee for a while, and then Benoit was getting the save opportunities. Oh, and 1 the count. Good pickup by Avila. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's 2-1. Benoit not exactly crisp here this afternoon. Tigers have badly out hit the Rays 12-4. They lead by 4 runs. Three and 1. Scherzer retired the last 4 that he faced, 3 of those on strikeouts. He finished with 9 punchouts and has turned things over to Joaquin here in the 8th. Popped him up. Middle of the infield, Peralta and Infante, and it's Omar. 2 gone. Now the one guy who's glad to see Scherzer out of this game, Longoria. Evans struck out 3 times against Scherzer. Average is still at 303.
Believe it or not, Longoria was not drafted out of high school. You don't see many kids that aren't drafted out of high school then go to college and become #1 draft choices.
It just doesn't happen. Extremely rare situation. Longoria went on to play at Long Beach State. The 1-0 lifted toward right field. Torrey Hunter, long run still coming, and it's going to drop in fair and into the seats. It's going to be a ground rule double. They'll send Zobrist back to third.
Torrey must have been playing well over in right center field because the ball stayed in the air a long time and he wasn't able to get there before the ball bounced on the warning track and then bounced out of play. But I remember having a conversation with Longoria last year and asking him, sometimes you'll have high school kids that, you know, there's no signability because they're going to a really good school, and, you know, teams might want to, you know, not want to try to outbid that school for your services. He says that wasn't the case with me. He says I just didn't get drafted. He wasn't even good enough to play shortstop on his college team. He had to play behind some guy by the name of Troy Tulowitzki.
He's pretty good. Well, here's an opportunity now for James Loney to get his team back into the game with time running short. Fouled back out of play. So Tulowitzki and Longoria on the same infield at Long Beach State.
It's one of the reasons why he's such a good defender. That would be Longoria. Of course, Tulowitzki's an all-star himself, but Longoria's got those shortstop feet. Playing third base these days.
Word on Jake McGee is a bruise on his left shin. He'll be okay. Here's the 0-1. 1-1 on Loney.
Benoit's wondering where that last changeup was to Loney. Hit a long look for Scott Berry. Ended up low, but I'm wondering where it crossed the plate at.
There's a wave and a miss, 1-2.
Back-to-back changeup, same location. One he swung at, the other one he didn't.
Loney singled in a run back in the 6th. And to this point, providing their only run, it's a base hit away from perhaps getting 2 more RBIs. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball, left side of the infield. Charging is Cabrera. Tough play. Has no play. Infield hit. That'll get a run in to make it 5-2.
With 2 strikes, Miggy playing real deep at third base. The ball cued off the bat of Loney, and Miguel comes in. May have been distracted just a little bit there of Longoria running over to third base, but he had no play either way.
It'll be the 6th hit for the Rays. They're back to within 3 now. 5-2 ball game. Here's Desmond Jennings.
He's got some pop in his bat. Don't throw him a fastball right down the middle.
Swing and a miss. He did not.
Because that's exactly what he's looking for. He's got 6 homers this year.
And he's the tying run at the plate.
And majority of those have come out of the leadoff spot.
One ball, one strike. 0 for 3 for Jennings. A couple of fly balls and a strikeout. Benoit taking over for Scherzer here in the 8th. And Max allowed just 1 run in this game today before departing. Here's the 1-1. Way high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
This game was moving along at a pretty good pace when Hernandez and Scherzer were out there. But Wright and Benoit have slowed it down considerably.
And Joaquin has thrown 23 in this 8th inning. High fly ball left field. Andy Dirks backing up. He hit it to the warning track but fell short. And the inning is over. They will settle for 1 run, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. Good day for Max Scherzer and a good day for Tigers fans. They lead by a score of 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning here in downtown Detroit. Another nice crowd here at Comerica Park. We have a new pitcher on now for the Rays, and that would be Kyle Farnsworth.
And he comes in with elevated numbers, especially in the earned run average column. 7.90 ERA for Farnsworth. He's been in 19 games already. This would be number 20, and he's also given up 4 homers, and they're hitting .387 against him. Fastball about mid-90s. Breaking ball as well.
Defensive changes. Matt Joyce is in left. Zobrist will move to right. And Ryan Roberts stays in the game to play second base. So we'll see if the Tigers can build on their lead here in the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Alex Avila to lead things off. Then Infante, then Garcia facing Kyle Farnsworth. Alex 1 out of 3 today, singled his middle time up. And he sends a ground ball to the right side. Roberts ranging left. 1 pitch, 1 out. They'll bring up Omar Infante. One for 3 for Omar. Farnsworth pitched in Detroit in 05 and then also in 08. Sandwiched around a couple of stints, one in Atlanta, one in New York. He's also been with the Cubs, KC. Ball 1 inside. Speaking of Kansas City, of course, he provided one of the more lasting memories here when the Tigers were playing the Royals, and there was a brouhaha on the field. And Jeremy Affeldt, how tall do you think Affeldt is?
He's a big boy.
About 6'8", something like that.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
And Farnsworth just body slammed him.
He sure did. We could see it coming, too.
He's just never seen anything like that.
I said on the air, I said, you better leave him alone. Talking to Affeldt.
And he didn't. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Infante. Garcia will be next. Tigers have 12 hits today, only 6 for the Rays. Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers have at least one run in each of the last 4 innings. They got 2 in the 4th. And it's popped up. Robertson shallow right, drifting back, and he made it a tough play, but he got there.
And Zobrist should have helped him out. Roberts, I know he called it early, but there's a little wind up there, and first time Roberts has played in the series. Zobrist probably should have called him off and taken it while he was backpedaling.
Jose Valverde getting himself ready to come in for the 9th inning. Here is Garcia. Ball 1. Garcia came on as a pinch hitter back in the 6th. His sacrifice fly drove in a run. Here's the 1-0. Here's a strike, and the count goes to 1-1. On the ground and through. It's a base hit for Garcia. Well, Avisail has come up and taken advantage of another opportunity to play. The injury to Jackson, he's performed quite well. That is the 13th hit of the day for the Tigers. He'll bring up Andy Dirks. Andy is 0 for 4 in this contest. Tigers now have 13 hits. There's more action in the bullpen. Cesar Ramos has been loosening in the Rays pen. Fouled back out of play. Farnsworth's career began in 1999 with the Cubs in the National League and played with Chicago until he came to Detroit in 05. Swings right through it. 94 on the gun, up and around the letters, and the count is 0-2. Dirks trying to avoid that 0 for 5. Lifted in the air. Left center field. Jennings on the run. Still going. He'll track it down right in front of the track. So we played 8. 9th inning coming up. So is Valverde. The Tampa Bay Rays, and the Tigers now will bring the closer in. That would be Jose Valverde.
Jose 6 of 8 in save opportunities this year. Blew a huge save on that road trip in Baltimore. It was a big game. But overall, Valverde not bad this year. The numbers kind of back up that fact.
Valverde will face the bottom of the lineup, the scheduled hitters. Scott Molina Escobar. Lobaton has moved to the on-deck circle. And he will bat probably in Molina's spot as Scott comes strolling in. Luke Scott is 0 for 2 career against the right-hander Valverde. Tigers need 3 more outs, and they will have 2 out of 3 in this series against the Rays. Bouncing ball to second base. 1 pitch. 1 out. Good start for Jose. Always good to keep the leadoff man off the bases, but it's even better when you do it with 1 pitch.
Now, next series for Tampa Bay, number 29, Jose Lobaton.
Benoit threw 24 pitches in the 8th, and now Valverde here in the 9th. Jose Lobaton will pinch hit for Jose Molina. Lobaton at 271, couple of home runs. Here's the 0-1. 0-2.
I have been encouraged at the fact that Valverde is willing to throw that split-fingered fastball a lot more this year than he was last year. And it's one of the things that we heard he was doing before the Tigers agreed to re-sign Valverde. When he was down in the Dominican, still looking for a club for the 2013 season.
Now the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I was a little surprised. A lot of fans booed him when he came in the game here today.
Well, fans were not real happy with his last outing in Baltimore, I would assume. And so they let Jose know about it.
I don't think he was happy about it either.
No, I know he wasn't. That was the game in which the Tigers gave up the big home run to Dickerson in the bottom of the 9th. Who started that game? Was that Scherzer? You remember? I think it was Max.
Yes, it was Max.
Friday night, Max was cruising along, did really good work in that bandbox of a ballpark, and then it fell apart in the 9th. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Jose Lobaton. Here's the 2-2. Inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yunel Escobar waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Got him. Lobaton is out of there. 2 gone. So the last chance for the Rays is Yunel Escobar. Here comes the crowd. 36,168 in attendance here today. Fouled away 0-1. Kelly Johnson has moved to the on-deck circle if it gets that far. Bouncing ball to second base. Should do it. And the Tigers win 2 out of 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays. A 1-2-3 ninth inning for Jose Valverde.
Real nice for the club to come back and take the series, which is exactly what you want to do when you're playing at home. You win series and you split on the road, and if you do that consistently, you find yourself where you want to be at the end of the year.
Tigers win it 5-2. Back with a whole lot more from the ballpark.